And hello, this is Stuff Shark. How are you guys doing today? We have an interesting match for you today. We have Renegade versus SGC playing on Push of all game modes. An interesting one for the record books. Let's go ahead and get in there. Here we go. Of course, it's not any game of Push without my buddy Shane. Shane, are you there?
I am. How's it going?
It's going good. So, what we have playing today is, I believe, Renegade versus SGC. Now, these rosters are basically randomly picked. What do you think about these combination of players? You know anything about them? If they're any good or bad?
Yeah, they're all for the most part people who play together on the SGC Discord server, and so I think there's a lot of familiarity with each other. These people routinely play with each other in stacks, so it's going to be interesting knowing that watching them, knowing that their usual tricks and ways to the point are going to be well known.
Interesting. Now, I noticed that we're playing on hideout security for this first objective here. What do you think about the map? Is it going to be pretty even balanced, or do you think it's going to be a bit of a challenge for security to get out of the gate?
Well, on this map, A is definitely the toughest in the sense that you have this narrow approach. I mean, there's not a lot of flanking. That whole tunnel area is more like it's essentially a funnel towards the point. So the key is going to be if one of the teams can get past A, and if you can get past A, then in terms of offense for defense, all bets are off. You got a good chance of capping through.
Interesting. Okay. It looks like security has opted to go for a bit of a passive position on the outside here, waiting to get in some smokes to try and block out that coverage and support. Looks like they're hitting the A objective there. Kindness skills. We get the first kill onto Stanky Panky for the first kill of this round of Push. And it looks like...
That's funny. Those two guys are both really strong sniper-type players, although he got him with an MG3, so it's not surprising that they're looking for each other. I think what they're doing here is they're just going to hang back and wait until they get a couple of their offensive commander calls. You see, they're not even approaching. They're just all sitting behind that rock. They're not exposing themselves, so they're going to wait until they at least get an A10 probably. And if they're really smart, they're watching the score to see how many kills they're getting early on, and they may get that A10 run. And if they can pick off 3 or 4 with that, they might try to push up and under the bridge.
Interesting.
The big thing they're waiting for is that mini chopper.
Yeah, I think it's going to really open up a lot of the access areas into Alpha and hopefully get that capture started. But in the meantime, basically a bit of a waiting game as we see them set up. Insurgents defense, though, they're pretty aggressive up in the front here. How do you think about that positioning there?
It's pretty. Again, it's a narrow field here, so they're spread out pretty well. I mean, they're not clustered in any one place. You got a couple. You got 3 or 4 up on the bridge. You got 3 or 4 around the point. One guy looks like he's running back to refill, probably a demo. More rockets.
Ooh.
There's the A10.
Looks like it
did.
Oh, early call, but it looks like it does not hit anybody on that spray.
No, he didn't angle it very well. I'm not sure if their commander knows, but you can actually angle the A10 calls.
Oh.
And you want to angle it to go perpendicular more across this line, and it ran more into the part where they didn't really have anyone.
Interesting.
So, but then they are pushing up a little bit. They're trying to come around. There's an exploit on the offensive side on the left. You can see them hopping over this little oil drum, and you can hop through there and go through the fence.
Interesting.
So you smoke off the left and come through that side, but these defenders know it's there, and someone just got picked off through the smoke even.
Yeah, it's definitely dangerous. It looks like they'll get one actually in the middle side of the bridge, throwing an early smoke in towards billboards. Somehow lands, doesn't quite land where they wanted to, but they do get the kill onto that one player. Looks like Kindness getting the kill onto Dr. Rick Marshall, of course. Early spray downs from that bridge player on with the LMG, but still not a lot has happened. Security, a bit of a push, but just ultimately not getting a whole lot out of him. Captain Salty, though, is the farthest one up, trying to get a shot across in towards that alpha position. He's not finding anybody just yet, but he's in a good spot to catch somebody out who's rotating a little too aggressive. Full of big soap.
That's a good spot he's in. A lot of players wouldn't know because you have to run through the 10-second restricted area, and you hop on a back ledge back there and can crawl up there. Oh, and it looks like my view is blind. It looks like I got kicked for being AFK. There's appearing to be an AFK timer on here where there probably shouldn't be. So, go ahead. Can you keep telling us what's happening there while we get back in? Yeah. Yep. I got to get back. I also my spectator just got sent to person. So what we got here is they are pushing under the bridge a little bit. They're pushing up the offensive right side of the bridge. So they're going to try, but they've got one defender holding that right side of the defensive right of the bridge. Big Soap, just pick someone off. Oh, now the defenders are just calling already. There's another A10. That was a little better, got one. This is the hard part where you don't have a kill feed. They don't have a good sense of how many defenders are up. This would be the time to go. They only have 2 defenders near the point. And here they come. They're doing the truck rush.
Yep, here I come back in. Oh, looks like they hit their tree there. Captain Slowly gets a nice pick as Cheese Star will get the kill onto Fritz, running in fast. Looks like Insurgents are going to make it in time to stop that A push. Ooh, nice RPG there, blowing up the truck, preventing that MG use there. Extremely Stiff, though, is nearby. Senki Big with the kill onto Kindness Skills. And it looks like Stiff is going to be the first one to touch Alpha if he's able to push on and through. There's quite a few defenders on Alpha already swarming it, so it's going to be dangerous for him. He'll see one, will miss the spray down, and Stiff now holding on for dear life as he will eventually get killed by Skillet. Captain Salt to get the kill on the Renegade in the meantime, making it a bit of a push, but 2 more security has pushed onto Alpha. Cheesy Tater getting the kill onto Commander Bacon. Canadian Bacon, apologies. And of course, getting another kill as well onto Dr. Rick Marshall. You can see KO Simon says, going for a nice smoke onto the billboard position there, looking to get some kills across. Okay, remember, waiting for the push by security, but security has indeed lost most of its players that were pushing in there. We can see a little of a nice security push on the bottom side up through the bridge there, trying to get in their positions, but it looks like Insurgents have held control of Alpha, at least for this push.
Well, they've got those 3 guys up front and just need to sit there. If they go up by themselves now, they'll just die. With the guys who can spawn, got to do get the chopper called. That'll suppress the defenders somewhat, and that's going to be their best chance to get into A.
Exactly. Although Cheesy Tater getting a nice explosive mortar kill onto Ruben, and Senki Pancake is going to be big. Remember, getting a nice kill as well onto Pyrus, meaning there's only still 3 left over near Alpha, but Saber looking to get a lucky shot off into that Insurgent player. He's not going to find anybody. It looks like the MG is back. They're already pre-flying the upper Alpha there. Looks like somebody's maybe making the push fast into B, and that's going to be Simon Says, is going to run right into Major Chronic, who takes him out. He'll get one, but ooh.
They called the chopper, and they already shot it down.
Wow.
It's sitting on top of one of the hills.
Wow, that's very interesting. Out of the gate, early minigun loss is going to be big. Yeah, we can see it hanging out right up top there before it went to the nether. But interesting positioning there, and interesting play by the Insurgents. They've really locked down a lot of the security push. They only have, I think, 1 minigun left, right?
They have. I think that was the mini that would leave the attack chopper, which was rockets and then the cannons.
Okay, so they have one more helicopter left?
Yeah.
Okay.
One of the defending commander did a good job. He called an explosive already back into their, where they were kind of hanging out in their backfield there. They got a couple players, and people tend to like the security commander calls because they're sexier. You can get 10 kills. You're not going to get a lot of kills with those things, but the insurgent calls can be really effective as a suppressive measure.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I had no idea you could even call it from all the way up there. Very interesting. So it looks like more artillery is about to come in now. Oh, here's the gunship. Blowing up Alpha, but not taking out anybody just yet. Although I'm sure it's going to be taken down in just a few moments. Let's see what happens.
This is going to be their last stand if they can push here.
Yep, Ruben will get a kill onto Renegade. Let's see if he gets another one. Indeed, good pre-fires by that chopper. And it looks like the chopper will avoid that RPG blast, but Tribal going for the cross pick into that helicopter, trying to take him out. See a lot of force fire on that helicopter. It is the MVP. Looks like...
Do you have the security teams getting on the point?
Indeed. Here comes the push by security. In the meantime, looks like Insurgents were distracted by the chopper. This is the push. We can see Insurgents.
Now or never.
Indeed, it's do or die. We can see Insurgents trying to get the push in here. Looks like Pirates will get the kill and a kind of skills.
They've got it 3/4. They might get it. They might get it at 0 waves. They got more guys to take out.
They're right there. They're about to get it. Here comes the last Insurgent, and they get the kill on Skillet. That's going to open it up. Just one more to go.
They got one player to root out. He's on the back of the defensive corner of the top deck. Someone's going to find him right now. Got him.
And Jess, nice capture by security there. They stay alive for another wave. They got 5 more waves on their hands. Insurgents have 16 waves, still a bit of time, but it looks like it's going to be a tough hold by Insurgents there. Not enough to quite get the objective cap on A, but still nice performance from security. They're using that good gunship to get in there. So now we can see.
The thing is that they did that. The insurgent defenders forced them to use 4 of their calls. They're going to have very few commander calls left that are any use. Essentially, just artillery, which from the security side is not that strong. But they did get the cap. I mean, getting A is big. They're not as important for B and other points.
Interesting. Okay. So it looks like security opting for... They're kind of waiting for the respawns at this point. Insurgents have set up a pretty strong line, but it looks like their right side is open over near where Senki Panky is. Is that intentional?
Yeah, the defensive right now, I think they probably just went down. They're not talking. They should be talking. Someone should flex over. One or two should flex over to the defensive right. But generally, people do tend to push more through the defensive left side of the map, which is probably why they're overloaded there.
Okay.
It is harder to push through the defensive right. It's not as good approach. It's very few buildings.
Gotcha.
But if they realize that they're not there, you can get some smokes down that road on the right of the point and try to push through that side. But they've got to realize there's no one there. So Sanky Panky is pushing up on the left. He's a notorious camper for picking off the reinforcement waves, and you can see his angle. He's trying to get a line where he can cut off the back approach to the building. He's got that perpendicular line behind the building. So he's just going to sit there and wait for a spawn wave if he can pick some of them off. But they only have about 7 or 8 players up. They might not even have their counter going yet.
Yeah.
You see him. He's moving up even further on the left here.
Wow.
He's really trying to get into a strong position.
Yeah, this can be very effective against a team that's also pretty forward up on the left side as well for Insurgents. They really are getting in danger close, and it looks like security could take advantage of that and actually push in the middle. Although they're opting to go follow Senki Panky's line as he has a pretty deep cut in there. And that's Insurgents defensive, but Ruben is spotted and taken down by Major Connor 10, holding the line there, but Renegade is waiting for another push himself. Looks like Insurgents...
So
Interesting. Ooh,
Renegade
nice push.
Picked out Sanky Panky. I did not expect that because he turned. He knew Renegade was coming, and Renegade outdrew him.
Wow.
That would have been big if he could have got Renegade, because he could have really set up a good line to take out some of the defensive reinforcements. But he's down now. That's going to make it a little harder.
Indeed. And it looks like Insurgents are starting to fight back a little bit against security. Rick Marshall is the closest up in security towards Bravo, but still, they already know where these people are pushing and positioning, so he's pretty much going to be dead in a few seconds, if I had to guess, but we'll wait and see. Simon says, meanwhile, trying to push on the right side. No real smoke or cover there, so it's going to be a bit of a challenge. Tribal Timmy is not looking there. They could use that.
Defenders just waved in, so there's new defensive reinforcements coming. Even though there's just 5, they're spread out a little better. They got 2 guys on point, 2 or 3 guys left, on 2 or 3 guys flexing right, so this is a pretty good defensive line now. It's more balanced.
Interesting. Yeah, it's definitely.
And I'm sure that was they're getting more on the right because that was in response to them getting Sanky Panky, knowing that they're coming up on that defensive right, so they got to hold that better.
Yeah. Interesting. Bit of a spread here. Looks like a bit of a firefight about to happen. Simon says not taking out Skillet. Looks like he was nearby, just couldn't quite get the spot and shot in time. Canadian Bacon, though, does see that player, but gets gun blocked at the wrong time. Once he knows where he is.
They've smoked off the defensive right side of the building, and they've got 4 guys pushing up a little bit. I mean, the offense really has to focus and attack instead of spread out so much. If the defense is spread out on a line, you have to be like an arrow and pierce through it. They need to mass 5 or 6 players and get some smoke out and push through, pierce one side of the line.
Indeed.
Otherwise, they're not going to get beat.
Well, it looks like they've taken out a couple of their players on the outside. Looks like security could actually take this objective if they push fast enough. Possibly. But it looks like they're playing it passive. They're waiting for the spawns to come back in. Looks like everybody coming back in from the spawns, rotating in. Renegade does get the pick onto Extremely Stiff, and it looks like it's a bit of a waiting game here as I can click on him.
They're in a good position. Now, this is going to be maybe their last best chance because defenders are, they can capture the flanks now. There's, defense just spawned.
Ooh.
But the defense is kind of massed on the point.
Yeah.
And this is where having a lack of that really strong call, if they had another A10 to call right now, would have been a good chance, but they've used all those.
Yeah, it looks like
so now the defense is reinforced. They've got if you look at the mini map, they've got a good line spread out, left to right.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough for security to get in there, especially with no artillery. They're gonna have to just be lucky or hope that they can break in on a lucky spot here. Looks like Saber about to go for the RPG shot. Sanky Panky will get the kill, and it looks like Saber misses his target.
See, they're already landing
at
the point, trying to clear the point a little bit. It has picked off 2 at least. One defender sensed that, ran into the building to anchor it.
Indeed, good positioning.
See, and that's the problem. The defensive artillery only has about 5 or 6 rounds, so it's not going to be a ton of help.
Yeah.
But it's better than nothing.
That is true. They have at least a little bit to work with, but ultimately, will it be enough to get this be objective? And they start the cap up.
They're getting in on 0. They're back in on 0. They've cleared it.
Oh, Saber. Oh, Fritz gets the kill on the Fitzy. Just like that, security now getting the B cap up. Insurgents need to push in fast to B. See a bit of a cross pick here. Looks like they're trying to take him out as they come in. Ooh, here comes Simon Says, gets the kill into Major Connor. Skill will take out Fritz, and Saber will take out Skill. Saber getting the kill onto Kindness Skills as it comes into Bravo. And we see Dr. Rick Marshall getting the kill onto Cheesy Tater as Memphi will get the RPG onto Dr. Rick Marshall. And Saber gets the B cap up. Oh, and Saber will get the final kill onto OK November, ending it for security.
That's the one that went into point right there. That was the last defender. It's theirs now. They got it.
Indeed. They have that B cap up. Now comes Charlie. Definitely security with a strong wave and presence. Although it looks like I'm being kicked repeatedly for being AFK, despite being a spectator. So I will be right back in there in just a moment, guys.
So defensive is lining up some defenders to the left, defensive left of the point. Most of the defenders are on the point. And now some defensive line is coming on the right of the point, so they have a good defensive line. The security offensive team is pushed up on the defensive right. They know that they're going to try to cut off that river approach so that they can seal off the point on the defensive right of the point and try to push in through the river. Got smokes coming out on the river. There is a good mass of defenders on the point, but a couple well-placed rockets or grenades can clear that out pretty easy.
Indeed, and it looks like, I know I'm back in here, security going for a bit of an interesting push on the outside of Bravo, which you normally don't see in firefight, especially on this map. It's an interesting position to go for, and it's definitely going to be potentially useful, but we'll just have to see how the Insurgents are going to guard that out, or if they're going to cover the right side. It looks like they're opting to cover mostly a good spread around Charlie, but still a bit of a waiting game as they wait for Insurgents, and rather security, to make a push into something. Renegade does get the pick on extremely stiff. In the meantime, as Captain Salty gets a kill of his own. You can see Insurgents
so the offenders are, you see they're kind of spread out on the various flanks. At some point they're going to need to mass in one area or push through on one side. Coming up one here and one there is going to be tough. Although they do have the defenders down a few, so they're kind of circling around them a little bit.
Interesting.
A lot of smoke on the point. But the key here, big key, is going to be this river that's to the defensive right of the point. There's a lot of good lanes to hold.
It looks like, ooh, a smoke barrage on B. This is going to be interesting to see if they're going to push through it or not. Looks like Dr. Rick Marshall getting the B push started, but not quite on just yet. He's getting nearby, though. Looking to clear things out and push his way in there. He's not having a gas mask, though, so he will be spotted if he goes in the smoke. Though he may get picked before that happens. Looks like he's putting in danger close. He's right next to an enemy. He doesn't see him. Oh, he turns his back, but looks like the player spotted him. But Dr. Rick Marshall doesn't get the kill on the Flaming Kissing, who ends up taking him out instead. Saber gets the kill on Major Con 10. Meanwhile, artillery barraging Charlie. Looks like it doesn't hit much of anything, but is definitely keeping people pinned down.
So you got two players opposite sides on the right of the point. Oh, finally, Renegade or Memphi, whoever that was, realized there was someone there and got him. Is anchoring the point now. So who's this out on the far right? So Kindness Kills is out on the far right, looking at a perpendicular angle across the road. That's a really good defensive line. They're going to need to smoke that to pass him. Otherwise, Kindness is a really strong player out there.
Although it looks like he got picked pretty early.
Right. Oh, he's dead?
Yeah, he got killed as soon as you talked about him.
As soon as I talked, I jinxed him.
Yeah, that happens.
Not
intentional.
Any money to jinx him like that.
Not intentional.
But again, I wonder who got him.
Yeah.
Again, they know these spots on both sides. They play each other so much, so they're going to be looking for those.
Yeah.
Wow.
Interesting spread. Looks like security waiting for the push. Although we see an insurgent danger close to Ruben down below. Is he going to meet face to face? Is the question. He's positioned himself very, very well though. Waiting for security to come in for the push to try and go for Bravo, and he could take out quite a few. Looks like he's going to push up instead.
Yeah, see here they come. They're massing on the defensive right of the point. They've got smoke in that river. This is going to be their effort. They're going to try to push in from the defensive right of the point here. They got 5 people. They've got Stanky Panky is coming back and around. He's going to try to set up to pick off the respawn reinforcements. But you can see them. They're coming on that defensive right of the building. That's how they're going to try to push in. But they're getting picked off.
Yeah, it looks like they're just not able to take the waves down. Insurgents just playing it passive. They know it's where they're coming from. They're just waiting them out. And it looks like they're going to take out most of this wave. Not a lot of waves left for security, though. Only down to 1 wave, and a majority of the team already dead. So this is going to be their last chance if they have a chance of taking out Charlie. Although, nice pick from security. security there. Starting opening things up, actually. It's actually relatively split. If security wanted to, they could probably push C now, but it'd be a bit of a challenge. Making another kill onto OK November, leaving to just 2.
Back in that position. He's attacking the respawn.
Yeah, this is going to be big. Security can now actually get onto the C-cap started. They only have 1 player left guarding Charlie. But they, just like that, Insurgents have now respawned. The security has to hurry. They get on the cap to start it up.
Watch Sankey take out their respawners.
Ooh, let's see.
He's hitting their reinforcement wave.
Hit a little bit of it, but looks like most of them are going to be running past while he reloads. So we get 1, maybe 2.
Yeah. Oh. Again, they know each other. They know to look for that. In pub play, they'll yell and scream and call you a cheater, but here they anticipate someone's going to be looking at them coming out of spawn.
Indeed, and security will get that cap up in time, outpacing the Insurgents respawning, and they will get that C capture going in their favor in the last possible second. So it looks like Insurgents now playing passive. They have to now try and guard Delta. Looks like it's going to be a interesting challenge for them. Although, again, looks like I keep getting kicked for being AFK. Just my luck. Interesting push there by security.
This is really exciting. All 3 caps have been on 0 waves.
Yeah.
Every single time. So D is tough. After A, I think D is the toughest point because the entry points are not... The front entry point is easily guardable by those stairs. It's around a corner. And the only other entry points are from behind. So D can actually be pretty tough to take. And the attacking team has used, I believe, all of their offensive calls. They may have a smoke call left. So they're just going to have to get this the old-fashioned way, hand-to-hand combat.
Gotcha. Interesting. They do have, again, they're back to just 5 waves only. They've really not built up much of a defensive kind of supply of waves. They really don't have a lot of chances to make mistakes. They have to get their shots lined up, and they have to try and use what little utility they have left to try and break through the lines of Insurgents, which is going to be a challenge. And it looks like Insurgents have opted to actually play fairly heavy on D, which is a little bit of a change up from strats from the last 2 objectives where they spread out quite far and then had to try and come back in and get taken out as they rotate back into Bravo, or Charlie for that matter. So we'll see how this plays out. We see some aggressive security already pushing on the sides. Looks like Skillet is the first one to make contact, and Saber will take him out as he meets with the security forces. Meanwhile, it looks like a bit of a security push here on the right side from Simon Says. Not sure what's going on there. Looks like they're going for a bit of a unique strat here. They will have to go through a red zone, but they will be able to get out of it and then get into the combat. And it looks like Insurgents are not ready for that because they're not really prepared for that.
They're doing a red zone run, deep red zone run on the defensive right there.
Interesting.
And that's a little made possible by the fact that the defense, instead of being spread out, is all hunkered down in that building.
Interesting. Is that common within push players a lot? Or is it more of a unique kind of a team strategy to use that?
To go what? The defensive or offensive?
For the offensive, to go on that...
oh, it's real... I mean, in push... I mean, in pub play especially, you red zone run all the time.
Okay.
Because it's not watched. It's high risk reward. If someone's there, you're defenseless, but so many times they aren't playing there. A lot of the maps have very restricted flanking, and you need to do it to get to the point.
Okay. Interesting.
And actually, if I remember correctly, I think most of what they did is not actually in the red zone over there.
Yeah, it's kind of right on the edge.
But it's just so far out, though, that people don't typically watch it because in normal play, you'd be bored out of your mind sitting out there waiting for someone who's never going to come.
Yep. As it looks like Renegade
here,
is close.
They've gotten 3 guys out here. No one's stacked. They don't even know they're coming because they haven't picked any of them off.
Looks like Salty's already been spotted by Renegade. He's waiting for that push now. You heard him running. Will he take him out is the question. Looks like Salty's just trying to play it safe. Renegade will see the player who goes for the shot. Salty knows he's already dead, and yep, Renegade will take out Salty. And Memphis will take out Fritz on that, actually on a bit of a different position. They're Pyrus now.
No.
Getting in that push though. Oh!
Salty may have been trying to get in position to get a back cap on E. Boy, the heck back there.
Wow, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, that's really far back there. Interesting.
Well, that's where the cache is going to be near where he died.
So
So either he was trying to get there, or he was going through the red zone and he got caught. And he was just, running around to try to avoid the defensive player, and they found him.
Gotcha. Okay.
But now they're definitely going to alert to the fact that they've been coming from the right. I don't see if they defensively set up any different. They're really focused on staying close to D.
Yeah, they definitely don't want to
out too far to the left or the right.
Yep, they're keeping
Renegade, having picked off that one player in the red zone, is definitely taking his time to work up the right. He's definitely looking and anticipating them coming from the right. But now they're coming from the defensive left more. So they went right, now they're coming left. But the thing they're doing it as a group, that's really going to help them.
Interesting. Yeah, it's an interesting spread by both teams. Insurgents again, playing super close there. I guess they're doing it to try and prevent the deaths from the rotations, but still, it's working out well in their favor so far. Security, though, about to make the push into B here. Everyone is all around D, and it's about to be a bit of a firefight. Major Con will get the first kill onto Ruben, and Sankey Pink with the kill onto Renegade on the outside. And now, here comes the push by Security. You can see them all danger close. Insurgents waiting for the push. Flame 50 will get the kill onto Canadian Bacon, as it looks like. Here comes the push. Ooh, Big Soap will get the ID kill onto Dr. Rick Marshall, as the first will take out OK November. Pirates getting the kill onto Flame 50 in the meantime. Security now getting up the decap started, but there's still enemies on there, so they're not going to actually get the cap going. Cheesy Tato will get the nade kill onto Pyrus in lower D, as upper D is now clear, and lower D is where all the action is happening. Fritz will get the kill onto Cheesy Tato, rotating into D, as Saber will get the kill into Kindness as well.
Is that Connor holding it just right at the point?
I believe so, yes. Well, we see...
He cleared it, Yep.
Yep, only 2 more to go. One player last. Major Con will get the kill on Sankey Panky.
Really, on that back right corner that they keep coming in, you have to anticipate someone's there. You can't just blow through that door, especially at this level. You got to lead with a hand grenade or something. There's almost always going to be someone in there.
Although
they got Connor.
They took out Connor, but they're running out of time. Will they get onto D in time? They do make it, but will they have enough time to cap? They now have to capture the objective 100%. If Security dies, it is the end of the round. The Insurgents have to stop this cap.
Both sides are going to hit it to get the same moment.
Oh, no. I got kicked.
Security has the edge. All right, you got both teams hammering on D. It's Security heavy. It's, the end of it right here. Security mostly with the upper hand. Oh, Fitzy comes through and blasts through. Has he cleared the point? No. Oh, they got it.
Security got it?
Yes, they did.
Wow, what a huge play.
Both sides respawn waves hit D at almost the same time, but Security was a little closer. Controlled the point. So now it's E, but they only have one wave.
Ooh.
So again, knowing each other's tactics, I know that the Security team is going to be looking to just take it out from range. I believe you can take this cap out with, if you had an A-10, you could do it with an A-10, but they don't. They can take it out with 2 rockets from the far north of the map through some of the broken, the boarded up windows. You can also hit it from outside with 2 grenades or incendiary. So
interesting.
Come down to use of explosives.
Yep. Although they have only 1 wave to try and retake it if they don't get it, so it's going to be a bit of a challenge on their part.
Even more so, the reason they might try to take it out from range with demos.
Gotcha.
It's going to be close to get up tight. It's going to be hard to get up tight on that. You can see if you check the minimap real quick, you see the movement is really slow. All the defenders are very static. And the offensive team has 3 minutes. They have enough time. They're moving very slowly.
Yeah, they're not making any mistakes.
No. They know. Everyone knows that even with 1 wave, it's more or less your last chance. Time especially.
Yeah, very, very intense. Who is going to take this? I think Security have a chance of taking E and taking the round, but equally Insurgents have been very, very close too. Do you think it's Security's round to win?
I think so if they got a rocket in the hands of the right person. All you have to do, and I don't usually demo, but I'm pretty sure that if you get out to the north of the map, you can take it out. Now I don't know if they had a gentleman's agreement for what's allowed for E, but if all the cards are on the table, I would come out to the north with some rockets and try to come in and take it out that way.
Looks like Simon says though.
They're watching because they know the defenders know these tricks, so they're going to be watching. It's just a matter of pick them off. Guys pick off. Yeah, you have who's out there on the right. So Renegade knows he's looking for them out there. The one thing they're not really watching, although they do have the back line of the captains. For me personally, not being a real twitchy skill player, I like to always come from behind, all the way deep around, and come out from exactly from behind with 2 grenades through the window. And I'm seeing if someone is going, and I play with a lot of these players, and they know that tactic. I don't know if, so out on the far defensive left, you've got, who is this?
Murphy?
Marshall.
Oh, okay.
So Marshall, I don't know if he's got 2 grenades in his kit, but he's taking his time. He's creeping up. And then over on the far right, you've got Sankey Panky. I don't know what class he's right now. Sankey is running.
Looks like Sankey Panky is running.
He's running sniper.
Sniper, yeah.
So he's not going to have the rockets unless he picked up one. But you kind of need 2 shots, I believe. Take it out. So if Rick has 2, now you see, look at the map. You got the last 3. They're at 0 waves, and they've got their last big crew of 4 coming on the far left. So if they vector in too close, they should really try to come from behind. I think is their best chance.
Indeed. It looks like there was an RPG blast nearby E. I don't know if it actually hit the objective directly. But we can see security now making the push in towards Echo. There is one player down below. It looks like November, though, to take out Fritz.
So
Oh, Renegade!
Well,
Look at that shot.
He took out Saber, who was coming up from the right of the point. He's down. Honestly, you look at Rick. Wait, I'm keeping your eyes on Rick. In the back of the map, he's going so slow. He's got 40 seconds. I think he's going to try for the
RPG
back. So now the defense is rotated. What is Rick running? Rick is running.
He's got the M203 on him.
He's a rifleman. So if he's got 2 grenades, he's got a chance to get it. But he's got 30 seconds.
Oh, but there's only one insurgent last alive. They could be actually going for kills here. November last up. He'll get the kill. Oh, but Pius will get the grenade. Actually, the explosive there onto Echo, and security takes the round. Takes the first one 1-0.
Oof.
Wow, what a game. Interesting back and forth there. Playing to the last possible second on nearly every objective. Security coming in clutch and will eventually get that game win. First one out of the gate, pretty intense. What do you make of that one, Shane?
It was a really intense game. I think the really exciting part was how the first 3 caps all came down to 0, and I think D came down to 1 or maybe even 0. And the E, the cash was like, again, you're coming down to the last player against 4 players. I mean, that's not better than that. That's just the funnest way to play it. It didn't just end on A in a boring, wipeout, and it didn't just end with like just running roughshod over the team with 10 waves to spare. And that's as exciting matches.
Indeed, really good balance. Fantastic to see there.
I really thought it was going to be hard for security to overcome, having used both choppers, both A10 calls on A, but they had some good coordinated attacks towards the end of on B and C especially that pushed them through. And D was the thing about D that was crazy was how both you had one person on there to keep it alive when the timer almost run out to start the cap, and then both teams spawned approached almost at the same time, and security just got in there a little quicker, and that gave them the upper hand, and that took it, and then they went on and got the cash.
Indeed, they quite literally cashed their check onto the insurgents there. Did a good job locking it all down and ultimately getting the round win there, which was a very impressive job there by Team Ruben. And it looks like, once again, I'm still being kicked for being AFK. Sort of not being idle.
So you have some people in the chat saying that your mic may be a little loud. Is that true?
I already fixed it.
Oh, awesome. Sound great to me, though.
Well, that's good.
But so it's going to be interesting when they turn around because, Ruben's team, they know that all they have to do is hold any of the points and they win the map.
Yep.
Right? So that puts a lot more pressure on the team going on offense now, Renegade's team. They're going to feel a lot more pressure to take these points. Because Ruben, they can just sit back and know, hey, if we lose A, hey, if we lose B, we got to make a stand at C or D or something. And they can pick and choose, for instance, you don't have as many calls on defense, but you can pick and choose your calls. Because, again, you don't have to, panic and out of desperation start, digging deep into that bag. Yeah, offense is going to really have, a lot of pressure on them.
Indeed. So it looks like there's a bit of a pause. In the meantime, we will be right back here watching the SGC event. This is the Fall Classic. This is a pickup game style team of Renegade versus Ruben. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Let's get back in there. Looks like they're already jumped in pretty quick. Here we go. All right. Looks like they've already started a little earlier than I expected. But here we go. Looks like Insurgents throwing up some smokes, but security actually getting the good smokes on the B objective there, throwing it on the, what's it called? A bridge. That's what it's called. And, of course, on the rock on the outside. And Alpha heavily smoked on with good artillery blasting away, but ultimately not taking anybody out just yet. Ooh, actually, Ruben will get the pick onto Cheesy Tater in the meantime. So security waiting for that push to kind of go out, waiting for that to clear up some. Memphi hiding out under the bridge, waiting to participate, and then going in there, throwing his own smoke in there on the Alpha position. So you can see Insurgents have now heavily focused on A. If I click on one of them, Sable holding out on A. Looks like Renegade's team.
It's an interesting defensive strategy. They have like their whole team hunkered in the basically they're all bunkered in there.
Yeah, they've really kind of
one person holding that right bridge. Oh, he's down. No,
ooh.
No, he's still up. He's still up. And that is, who is it? Pyrus.
Okay.
Because here, you know, what they want to do on offense is they're going to want to try to push up on the defensive right of the bridge because you control the lanes, the reinforcement lanes into the point. And so a lot of times a strategy is you want to get control, you want to push up the bridge on the offensive left and get control, and then cut them off. But they're so hunkered in there. I mean, I think they're deciding just to turtle in there and just ride it out. Because, again, they know if they lose A, hey, what the heck, we can hold B, you know? So they don't have to, they can play a more conservative, wait-and-see kind of game.
Gotcha.
I mean, Ruben is being aggressive with the commander calls. He's called chems right in front of the point. So that forces them either, if they didn't have mass, they have to go around or wait.
Right.
But I would, yeah, I don't know. I don't know that I'd feel the need to call my calls now on defense.
Yeah,
they've got 4 points to hold.
Indeed, they're actually waiting it out pretty well. Although Insurgents to wait for the pause is a little strange. Oh, here comes the minigun.
Here comes the minigun. It's going to do the trick. Now, see, they're all hunkered inside, though. So again, they know this. They know this stuff is coming. So they've made the choice to just basically every single defender except 2 guys way back are in the building, maybe 1 or 2. That's not going to get a lot of kills. They probably have 1 or 2 guys' demo out trying to, you know.
Ooh.
Simon says, yeah. So Simon says it's a demo. He's probably playing out trying to take it out.
It looks
the
like
other guys are basically hunkered down.
And it looks like security is running through the chemical smoke without any gas mask on, apparently. Or apparently he did. It just didn't work too well. He's going to have good filter and swap those out if need be. But looks like security is going to have that advantage to push in there. The problem is they're going to have to try and push through.
Point.
Ooh. Looks like Fitzy.
They're on point a little bit.
They're starting up the cap partially.
Yeah, but they planned for this. The defense has been hunkered. They got 5 defenders in every interior angle. They're only going to dislodge them with grenades or some...
My view is blind.
Ruben is calling out. Oh, truck rush behind the point. 3 offensive players coming up from behind the point. They're really going to have to throw some grenades or some kind of explosive spam into the points. I think November just ran in there and got invested right away. Hey, it's just a mess of death and smoke with a combination of smoke, explosive mortars, and all these players attacking. They're at 0. This is probably going to wrap up. I don't see them taking this.
Yeah, I think at this point it may be too little too late. They have a chance. Ooh, maybe?
They got their last spawn wave, and they did put some disorder into the defense. So if they do have, let me see, is their commander still alive?
Looks so. Yeah, Major Connor is still alive on security.
Okay, so he's got to get that other chopper like right now.
Here comes the gunship. It is on the way. Yep. Off in the distance. Oh. Yep, way in the distance. Here comes that chopper. Here comes the rockets. And that billboard is very destroyed, but no one is supposed to get killed by that one.
But again, they're so in the interior of the building, it's not going to get many kills. They've got like 8 guys. 8 defensive players just stacked in the building. It's going to be really hard to take.
Ooh, yeah, Bacon will take out Cheesy Tater on Alpha, leaving it to just a few last alive. Major Connor will get the kill onto Stanky Bacon with the gunship.
The gunship took out 2. They did a C4 to take someone out. That's how you got to, when you've got 4 or 5 guys at a point, you got to get them with explosives. You're not just going to run in there with guns and take them out.
Indeed, although there's not that many left for security. Only one alive now. That's Skillet.
Nope.
And Fritz will take him out. Yeah, a pretty good hold there by Insurgents. And they will tie up the game 1-1. Unless that was actually GG's. Never mind, they swap teams. That will be the first round in favor of Ruben's team on the first map.
First round goes to Team Ruben.
Nicely done. So good hold from there. Looks like Insurgents were pretty much... They locked things down so early on that once security kind of whiffed their artillery and their fire support, at that point they tried to retake it, but they just didn't have anything lined up ready to go. So,
well, they definitely did an interesting defensive strategy, knowing that the offense would have a lot of pressure and be calling A-10s, both choppers if they had to. Staying in the building gives you the best cover against those things.
Yeah.
Even though, and they just didn't have, the offense didn't get enough grenade and explosive spam in there to take those guys out. You've got 3 or 4 guys, one or 2 nades or C4 can clear that stuff. They just couldn't get that aspect taken care of.
yeah. It was a good attempt, though, by security. They tried getting in some lucky stuff, but ultimately just couldn't quite seal the deal there to get out of Alpha. So, good hold by Insurgents, but it is how the cookie crumbles.
Their last push was not bad. They almost they were like 1 or 2 kills away from maybe turning it. And that's the thing. That's a funny thing about pushes. Like, you can think it's all over, but 1 or 2 kills, key kills, can completely turn everything around. We saw it when Ruben's team was on offense. There were a couple points when I thought, oh, this is over. But 1 or 2 key kills gets that last defender, even though you're one guy, and you keep the point alive, and all of a sudden those 3 guys, your 3 teammates get to you, and all of a sudden what looked like was going to be a lost point, you start taking.
Indeed.
It's never over till it's over, as they say.
Exactly. I couldn't agree more. So with that, we have an actual 5-minute break now versus the 2.5 minutes or so from before. So we'll be back in just a few minutes. So we will be back, as a second ago, in just a few. Sept is waiting for that push. Early kills. Looks like they're already live. Indeed, we are already live. Let's hop in there. It's going to be... This is on now farmhouse security mode of push. It is going to be, of course... Yep, Renegade on security and Ruben on Insurgent. Fitzy running around the side. Oh, nice.
One truck, he's a diversion.
Yep.
So they know the truck rush. He's just going out there to make them think about it. Because you see he drove it out there, but now he ran back into the normal zones.
Interesting, and we can see security pushing through Bravo too, at least on Firefight Bravo. Sept is waiting for that push. Early kills coming in from Marshall, Sankey Panky, and Captain Salty. But a bit of a waiting game now as security waits for the push.
Yeah, so the defense, they got 3 people out on the house, across the road right at the point, which is a place you need to hold. Looks like the offensive really coming through the middle, defensive middle left through the, I think they call it Palace building, or the castle, the small castle there. They're trying to see all the smoke coming, so they're going to come through that smoke. Ruben's team is on defense. They were on offense first last map. They're playing defense first.
Looks like Cheesy took out Ruben as Ruben was holding a Molotov, and it took him out from the grave there.
So mutual kill there.
Indeed, a good trade back and forth. Looks like
so the offense is already down to 3 waves.
Ooh, that's not a good start coming out from Ruben.
2 waves quick, yep. Well,
Yes.
no, Ruben's on defense.
Oh, Ruben's on defense. Okay, so
they switch sides, yep.
gotcha.
So now the defense has kind of been, they have picked off enough defenders, or they're kind of pushed back in. They're off the left mostly, or the defensive right. So they might, they're not. Yeah. So some of the offensive players are pushing through the defensive right. They've got a 4-on-1 advantage in terms of they can take out the defensive player over there. They can get some leverage on the right side of the map. So they kind of got 2 fronts. They've got some guys pushing defensive right, some pushing defensive left. Defensive left is hold. Their offensive team is smoking.
Good push as well from Insurgents pushing in towards security. Big Soap is looking to sneak through here. Oh, that Molotov could take him out. Indeed, it does take out extremely stiff nade. Where this Molotov will take out Big Soap. Meanwhile, Big Soap gets in the truck at the last second. Looks like they're going for a straight push into A. Danger close. This is a hot taxi coming in hot.
Running straight through.
Danger close.
They drove right through the back of the point with 3 players. 2 of them are getting into the back.
It was Renegade pushing in against Sanky Panky. And indeed, security now begins the cap on Alpha. Starting it up Insurgents. Ooh, Big Soap got the kill onto Simon Says. As looks like Pirates will get the kill on Memphi, but Memphi will trade out, taking out Pirates in the meantime. And Renegade will get the kill onto Saber as Insurgents now respawn. But security has taken out all of the A support on for the Insurgents. So security has Alpha.
They have to hold the corners, the entry points, and it's theirs.
Yep, and just like that, Renegade caps up the Alpha. We're now down to just Bravo.
Really impressive. They did that with only calling smoke. They have all their offensive calls for B.
Interesting. Yeah, they've really played it well. Good strategy there, good positioning, kind of forcing them to make an aggressive play like that. And it looks like chemical mortars are about to come in for the Insurgents. We'll see how that plays out.
Where he calls that.
Yeah.
You know, if the security players equip masks, it's really not much of a benefit, but a lot of players don't, and then it serves to kind of cut off an angle for a short time.
Indeed. It's
so
good.
Where does he put it is the question.
That is.
Now here on this, you have a defensive, you see about 2 or 3 offensive players trying to flank back left, but it's like Simon says, they have defenders anticipating that. Again, these players know all the approaches really well. The cams are called right on the leading edge of the point. So that's going to cause 20 short delay for the offense to come through the middle if that's what they want to do.
Indeed, interesting call there. Looks like Major Connor will take out Simon's Heads in the meantime. Kenny Bacon will take out Renegade, but here comes the minigun support now coming in for the security. Here, raining down up above. There are a couple Insurgents that are exposed, but everyone's tucked in pretty well, it looks like.
They're all gonna hide in the building. So the good thing about the chopper, when it doesn't get kills, it at least forces them. They either have to hide, kills them, they hide, or they try to take it out. And a lot of times, when you get kills, you'll come up on a player shooting at the chopper, just gives you an easy target. They're in a strong position with the chopper out. They really need to push really hard right now. Because again, if they spawn right now, this will suppress the spawners until they shoot it down. And here's the respawn wave from defense. Oh, they took it out. So they are capping D.
Ooh, but that's C4.
Quarter cap. It's got a quarter cap. Defenders are coming back and forth on the point. I'm not sure that they're going to get this on this push. The defenders have the numerical advantage right now. And they are winning the point back on defense.
Yep, looks like Insurgents are going to be able to take control of Bravo and keep it, at least for the short time.
Simon did a good job clearing it. It's an Artie call, interesting. They called Artie on their own, Insurgents called it on their own defensive point.
Looks like autocannon was also called out by security. About to arrive onto Bravo, looks like.
See the
angle.
The angle they call it on here.
Oh, right on the back line. Nice.
3 kills on the back line. So they should follow it up with some smokes out and try to get on the point here.
Oh. Way in the distance. Off it goes.
2 defenders on. Got some reinforcements for the offense coming through the middle. Traveling through the smoke that's out. There's a lot of smoke on the approaches to the point. This will help security, hopefully, for them get a foothold. Well, they already have a foothold, but get some help, I should say.
Indeed. Let's see Fitzy pushing around the side. So Treble will get the kill on a Captain Salty within B, but still a bit of a waiting game. Security trying to get around the outside, but ultimately, looks like Insurgents had this.
You have some, got a couple security defensive players flanking on the defensive left.
Ooh. Fleeting Fitzy actually kills a teammate.
November angling through the red zone. I'm not sure if he's anticipating a back cap for C or just got stuck out there, but they're not there. They're not making any progress on B. It is flashing, but they're outnumbered on point. Oh, Timmy, Salty picks up Timmy.
Interesting.
They've cleared B, so they got 3 waves here left.
Indeed, not a lot.
At this point, Usually, if you can make it, the chopper, the Apache is really great attack for C, but they may have to use it now.
Yeah.
Down to 2 waves.
I think so. They also called in chemical mortars on the objective. We'll see where those actually landed up, but it's going to be a good stopper for security trying to push in fast. Here they come. They opt for the right side of Bravo, and the middle of Bravo, for that matter. Interesting.
The approach, the main central approach, really. So again, if the security doesn't have masks, that's going to force them to come around a little bit.
Looks like they got some masks here and there.
But the thing about Kim's, it does actually can be a help to the offense if they've got masks, because it does act as a degree as smoke does. It's hard to see through.
Indeed.
And they got some more push here. We got one.
Ooh.
Oh, he's down.
Fritz actually got a nice double kill.
Fritz took out 2 there to clear the point. Down to 2 waves. They really need to. Really think they're going to need to call something if they want to capture B here.
Indeed.
There it is on cue.
Ooh.
Rockets
Not landing
did
him
not take out anyone, but they will have a suppressive effect for some time. But the defenders are all indoors. It's not going to help the offense a lot, probably, unless they can pick off some of these defenders. There's about 7 defenders in the main area in the building behind. They're just going to hold those approaches. The offense is down to 1 wave. Both teams really concentrated in the red ruins across from point and on the point. So this is going to be a hammer on an anvil right here. We'll see what happens.
Attack run complete.
Indeed.
Again, they're trying to get some rockets in the point, try to get some of those defenders through the windows. Kindness with a rocket kill. Sankey picking some of them off. Where's he playing? Yeah, so Sankey's playing out on the far left, watching the approaches down the road. They're at 0 waves now. And here comes their 0 wave. There's their last attempt here. They've used, really, the only thing that can really help them is maybe an A10 call.
Yeah, maybe too little too late. Only a couple of security left,
Yeah,
but still,
the
Insurgents have a huge amount of...
Yeah, the Insurgents just got their spawn. So if those defenders can come and reinforce the point before security hits it with this last push, they're going to hold. I do hear the commander calling something. Guessing an A10. Now the one thing here, even though they're in the building, an A10 with so many people masked may get a couple or 3. You strike it right across the point.
Ooh. Catch that just Pyrus on that
They
A10
got
kill.
nobody.
Yeah.
It was right behind the line of the defenders. Kind of A10s are tough call, but if you get them right, you can wipe out 5 or 6. It's kind of an all or nothing call at times.
Yeah. Looks
They're
like
just
there's...
down to 2 players. They're just down to 2 players.
Yep, I would call the round, but we still have Trouble Timmy, who has a chance, despite being basically out of the... on the middle of nowhere.
Again,
Going for the long flank.
He's got a minute to wind himself to the point there from skirting the red zone out here. Yeah, it's going to be one on a whole team is unlikely.
Hey, you never know. There's a chance.
You never know.
You never
So you're saying
know.
there's a chance? Right? Okay. So
You saw
He's
one
just gonna-
player, but I think they're going to trade.
So Ruben's
Ooh.
anticipating the direction he's coming from. Oh, but he got
Yep.
Ruben.
He got Ruben, but he's been called out that he's going that angle.
Ruben, yeah. So Ruben in Discord right now is just telling him, hey, he's coming through the back left of the point.
Ooh, the rocket
So now
almost
Timmy,
getting them.
Timmy smartly changes his angle because he knows they're onto him over there.
Yep. Sanky Banky misses RPG shot. He goes for another one. Oh, but Captain Salty will take out Travel Timmy.
Okay.
And Ruben will take the first round on the second map. 1-0.
They did. Okay. So at least having capped A, they know that they can win this and force a third map if they just hold them at A, which will be tough. I think of all the push maps, this A point is one of the more offense has more of a better chance than most of them. And with the full range of things that they can call, they're going to have a good chance to cap it. But at least having capped A, Renegade's team knows that they've got to dig in and hold A, and they can win this round and force a third one on to. I think the third map would be crossing Insurgent. So we'll see. We'll see if that's going to be. That's going to tell it. Of course, there'll be a third map, and if they get it around 1 wave left, we'll have to go to the videotape.
Yeah, we'll see. I know Muzzle is doing the time scoring for that, so we'll see what happens.
Okay, okay.
So we should have a time from him in a little bit. Let me just check and see. Okay. They capped A in 3 minutes and 7 seconds. They have to cap A faster than 3 minutes and 7 seconds, or cap A slower than cap B to win.
Okay.
So.
Or just hold A.
Yep. So as long as they hold A, they pretty much got this. Or if they lose it too quickly, then there you go. That is Ruben taking it. As he did win the first map, 2-0.
Sankey with a little friendly prodding over
Friendly
there,
banter.
How easy defense should be for them.
Uh-huh.
That when if they beat him, he can remind them that there's a tutorial that they can read to learn how to play the game better.
Did he write it?
Well, that's one of Ruben's favorite thoughts is to say, there's a tutorial you can play to learn how to play the game.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Mild put down.
Yep, looks like they're finally live once they get the round restarted.
Okay, yep, we're starting here. Both teams massed in their spawns. And defense will probably have some guys go 2 or 3, go to the buildings on the right road of the point. Probably have one guy watching the flank just to make sure they don't do a truck rush or try to red zone run on the far left of the defense. Put a couple guys up in the market to the left and most of the guys, 3 guys at the point. So what we got here? We got
Bit of a good spread by Insurgents, covering a pretty far line, but security is tucked in pretty well. Looks like they're trying to just basically dive bomb A with lots of smoke and a lot of luck.
Looking at the map real quick, you can see that the offense is definitely going to come hard on the far right. They've massed almost all their players. They're sending one guy far left, I don't know, diversion or something, but they've got almost every single player on offense hard right. They're going to run into 3 defensive players, so that's where our action's going to be, is on the defensive right.
Indeed, it's about to come down.
That building.
Looks like Cap will get the first kill on the Treble Timmy. That is one, but they have a lot more to break down if they're going to try and get through those lines. Looks like Insurgents set up
using Discord, they can talk, so even though Timmy died, he's going to give them valuable information. And, hey, there's a ton of them coming on the right. So we'll see if any of the defenders flex over there. Another one's down on the right. They've only got one other guy before they can try to cross the road. Now, there are a couple players in the house just across the road, probably looking that way. Most of the offensive players are down, so they're taking their time. They're going a lot slower, a lot more methodically. So they just got their spawn, and we'll see if they continue to come to that spread now.
GZ gets one. Oh, he whiffs on the second player, taking out is extremely stiff.
Yeah, so the defense really needs to flex over to the right, or they're going to risk getting pushed over.
Indeed.
And especially like someone like Sankey, is he on offense? Sankey will try to come down the far left and set up a respawn camp on the left road to cut him off if you get there. So the defense really needs to reinforce the right side of their line, or they're going to get. I'm not going to predict they're going to get steamrolled, but they're going to get really pushed pretty hard from that side.
Yeah.
At this point, the offense would do well to knowing they need to cap A. They do well to call in an A10, but they could just be waiting for the chopper.
Yep.
A10 against a building like this, not going to do a ton when they're all inside the building.
Indeed. Pius got a nice headshot onto Captain Salty there. Saber looks like he takes out Cheesy Tater on the flank. Security finally getting a little bit open, but looks like Treble Timmy is waiting for that push. If any security person makes a push out there. Although it looks like Simon says.
Yeah, you can see how slowly they're playing. We're 3 minutes in, and they've just now got their second wave.
Yeah.
And they still have people from the initial wave. You can see 3 people, defensive right, pushing past, trying to come up behind. Oh, and they got picked off. Renegade was anticipating that. Took out all 3.
Just like that, it is. Oh, Memphis will get the nice.
Wiped them out. Wiped out their original push. So
yeah.
Really smart play by Renegade. Knew they were coming there and waited them out.
Exactly. Perfect plays there coming out from Renegade in a good power position, as they might call it. Looks like Simon is trying to catch some lucky flanks out. He's not finding anybody so far, but he is playing safe. He's probably calling out the positions as he hears them. But Rick Marshall is close.
2 waves this far, and you got to anticipate they got to be. Ruben is an experienced commander. He's got to be calling that chopper real soon.
Yeah. I wonder what he's waiting for.
They are getting short on waves, and they've been patient. They've been stymied. So now but again, they keep hammering on that far defensive right. You can look. They get 8 players pushing up the right. Defense is going to have to flex and hold it again. And they've held it well so far, but they continue. who is this pushed up on the right here? Oh,
Yep.
one of them.
Chopper was called by security, but here they come in. It looks like
he's down on the right.
Ooh, this could be big.
Yeah, but they have the mass. They have the mass of their defensive weight is on the point.
Yeah.
And in front of it a little bit, so they're going to be pretty impervious to the chopper. Let's see if they should have a. It is
just
down.
like that. Already crashed.
They wiped it out, and the offense is down to one wave.
Good smoke by security as well, trying to get into that alpha position. Good smoke coverage, blocking up just about all of the access.
So now, a lot of people in pub play complain about backcappers and slow tactics. It looks like Simon is very slowly coming. I thought he might be anticipating a backcap. Definitely realizes he's got to come to the point. He's sitting out there for so long, he's finally moving in from the back of the point. They're going to be at 0 waves soon. They only have 3 offensive players up at the moment.
Yep.
So they are playing behind the point, so they're going to try to pick off reinforcements versus give their positions away from, outnumbered. Who's this down in the corner here? We have Sankey. That's a place he likes to play.
Yep.
He's sitting behind the point. Going to try to cut off this next reinforcement wave of some of the defenders. Oh, but again, Cheesy, these guys know each other's tactics, so Cheesy's looking for them. They're looking for them in these spots that you can get away with in pub play, but in this level of play, someone's going to be looking for you.
Exactly. It looks like I have information now. Looks like Ruben has to cap B to win. He was not fast enough to cap Alpha within that time, so he needs to push. He's also on the last wave, so it's do or die for Ruben.
He's got to call that other chopper. He's got to get something going.
Exactly.
Here it comes. You can see it coming straight towards the point. Oh, someone almost got it with the.
Oh, looks like Sue got hit by the
first
patch.
kill. Got 1 kill. Let's see where they're pushing. Oh, they're down to 3 players. This is really going to be tough.
Yeah.
2 players against this. Against 7 defenders. It's Marshall and Stiff. Stiff's down. It's just Marshall's the last one.
Yep. And just like that.
Before I can find him on the map, he got picked off.
He was in mid A there, and looks like Renegade will take this map 1-1, tying it to go to map 3. So we are on to crossing for the final map of this matchup here. So an interesting display here, not quite as close as the other one, but still relatively good battles here and there on Alpha and on Bravo. Ultimately, Security just didn't have the momentum, looks like, on that pushes there to really get in there and to get the win on the second round there. First round, though, definitely had Renegade pushing and aggressive, good plays, good calls, and ultimately didn't get the B cap in, but still got enough to get that round win. What do you think about that one, Shane?
It was good that you mentioned Renegade. That one, it's funny, a lot of times the game could turn on one thing, and obviously you can't say that it would have been completely different. But when Renegade held, I think with about 2 waves left, they had 3 guys coming up who'd been very patient on the defensive right, and he took out all 3 of them. I think that was maybe a big opportunity. That if they'd have gotten him, they would have been in a real strong position to take the point. So, if I had to come to one thing, that might be the play of the game right there. Was getting those 3 players.
Yeah,
okay,
definitely.
So I guess we're going to be playing the 3rd round.
Indeed. So with that, they're going to be calling a quick 5-minute break, if I had to guess. So we will also be right back in just a moment.
Got to go get rid of my trucker ball. We'll see here. Looks like we're going to start in about 10 seconds.
Yep, we should be hopefully starting if things line up for once.
Here it comes. Here it comes. Let's see where they spread out on defense here.
Mm-hmm.
Offense, I think they'll either... Who's taking the offense first?
It's not live. It's not live.
Oh.
I called not live. Looks like somebody's still AFK.
It's like, okay, so Renegade's team will be on offense first.
Yes, Renegade is on... actually, other way around. Renegade's on defense. Ruben is on offense.
Oh, my bad. So Ruben's on offense. So, his team so far in these first couple has shown to have a pretty organized approach. So I think they may mass either kind of... if I had to guess, maybe come through what would be the defensive right. Kind of come up the road and kind of secure Athens, which is that structure on the right of the point.
Okay.
And use that as a power position and leverage that. come through that area of the map. There's a lot of cover there, and then if you can smoke the side of the road from there, I don't know how he plays as his commander, but I play it a lot, and if you get on the left and enough time for you can call Artie. A really useful call is to call insurgent artillery behind the point, kind of where the palm tree, between the palm tree and the little broken fences, and time it to when a respawn wave might be coming, because essentially you can cut off the respawn wave for some time. But you have to be in position to take advantage of that. But if you have a sense of like, hey, we got a few players down, maybe you're capping the point and get a foothold. But it's tough. It's tough. You got to get in a position for that. This is going to be really interesting to see if either team can take A. I mean, that could be as far as it gets, as whoever gets A can win this thing. Because even if you get A, B, and then C, again, very difficult, being so open in such a sprawling map.
Indeed, it's going to be an interesting challenge. It looks like we're actually alive now. We see security set up a pretty strong defense on the outside, guarding most of Alpha, but Insurgents have opted to go for their left side, pushing up and around. Right now, not currently covered by security. They're heavily focused on that building where Fritz and the other player are hanging out, just basically being distractions, while Pyrus, first person up.
Yeah, that's a really good point. If you look at the map, the indicators, you don't really see anyone on the defensive line looking out towards what would be their right. But yet the offense is slowly creeping up the defensive right here. They're gonna try to cross this road, get into Athens, overlook on the far on the northish. I guess that'd be the north of the map where Athens is. And you think the defenders are focused more on their left and the center, and you can get into these buildings on the right and take a view there. Here comes a volley kind of thrown. I don't know if I would have done that. You tipped them off now that you're on that side of the map. Are they going to react to that? They're going very slow. I think they're just waiting. I think they're going to wait. If they're almost 2 minutes in and they're still, their whole team's alive and they haven't called anything, you must be waiting for. There it is. I hear.
Yep, there's the chemical mortars. Oh, RPG though. Danger close. Will not take out that player up there, but looks like they're calling him chemicals.
Yeah, they know they're over there. They're going to be looking over there now. So it looks like we're going to have competing calls. Looks like defenders called some artillery and the offensive team is some chems. So if they've called that already back over where they are, that could really not be pleasant. Here comes the first of the chems on point.
Couple early shots. Security getting a couple kills, but ultimately.
Oh, and they are. The mortars are on Athens.
Interesting.
So they got one person with it. So again, the defense reacted to the fact that they were on the right and called one of their artillery strikes out there.
We're here if you need more. Station out.
The insurgents, the attackers, are showing a lot of discipline. I mean, they're still. They just finally had their first spawn, and most of them were still alive and not even just playing at a creep. At a snail's pace. Just trying to set up and get positions. Defenders, you got someone sniping on the B position, skillet way back, playing on Alt B, the security B point.
Wow.
With a view looking to pick off someone from there.
Interesting.
One of the defenders set himself on fire.
Looks like Cheesy Tater, a little too toasty there. A little too crispy on the tater there. Ultimately, taking himself out there. It looks like Memphi is about to cover this left side, and we see a bit of a push, a bit of a change up in strategy going for that left side now. Marshall and that other player is hanging out prone. They're trying to sneak through the gully there. Will they make it through?
Some of the the offense is splitting a little bit. Some of them are coming on the defensive left through the gully, the little dry river, trying to get to the tunnel. One of them's down though, so we got. Kindness is playing not on the top of what we call Saw Hill, but at the palm tree, halfway up. Because again, the experienced players always look for someone there. So I remember he had mentioned to me that he likes to play down the hill a little bit against experienced players because there's more cover and it's harder to be picked off from the opposing snipers. So Kindness is in what he considers to be a really strong position. Now they're smoking the tunnel. Interestingly, there's not a defensive player on their side of the tunnel. A lot of times someone will kind of camp there and run in and out of the red zone. Use flashes, grenades, and stuff, but there's no one there.
Interesting. Well, security has pushed pretty close too.
Yeah, they've edged up. I'm waiting to see what To me, it's like, what are they gonna? They're waiting to call something or do something. But what is it?
Yeah,
because at some point you're gonna have to make a play.
Exactly. Ooh, remember though, nice shot on the toes there onto Canadian Bacon, taking a slice out of him as Fritz is just waiting for the push there by somebody, but still just not a whole lot's happening. Looks like Stiff is now stiffing up his side there, trying to prevent the cross, as it looks like it's a bit of a waiting game for Insurgents. Oop, sounds like smoke mortars are inbound. I'm guessing on that cross. But we'll have to wait and see where they land.
Oh, they threw out a ton of smoke here. It looks like they're getting ready to finally make an effort here. A lot of smoke coming out on the right of the point. They're coming in the areas below Athens. So you're right, it was a smoke call. Just surprised he hasn't gone with something more offensive nature this far into the game.
I'm not sure what they're waiting on. They got a couple kills on some defenders. Oh,
so
kill.
Timmy, one other defender holding the defensive right, so trying to push through a little bit. They're just getting no traction.
Indeed, although it looks like Captain Salty is close. They're about to make a push into A, but Cheesy Tater will take out Fritz on the push. Stiff will take out Cheesy Tater trading, but here we go. And they do.
Got in here, and in the point is, they got two guys on, push through. This is where if they could get something called behind the point, that would help a lot.
Indeed, Kindness skills with the kill into Captain Salty and extremely stiff. The Saber will take out Major Connor, and it looks like here comes the gun truck running in fast to A. Murphy is holding out.
They're rushing with the truck to get the players on since the defense is kind of out of sorts. They have, it looks like maybe 2v2 on A.
Yep. I
it's
think it's just
stalemated. Well, another offense, it might be. It's moving pretty slow. Yeah, now it's moving faster. So they have an advantage. Here come the reinforcements to see if they can pick them off. This is where you have to hold the entry points. Oh, it's fully capped. Now they got to...
For the objective.
Okay, now they're pushing it back down. They just couldn't get the last player or two, and now the defenders have held. And now they're whittling down. There's one more offensive player on the back top of the point running in there. The 1v1 on the point. So if he can get him really quick, the key is to square...
Oh, Saber will get it.
Oh.
And I think they're about to cap it up.
Cleared him up. He's about to cap. No one's coming to help on time.
And yes, Saber solo caps up Alpha. Nicely done there.
Solo cap.
Now here comes the rocket barrage. I'm guessing that's probably for Alpha. But we'll have to wait and see where that lands.
Call that, not knowing, they're probably going to land behind A somewhere.
Yep.
Would be my guess. Anticipating a respawn in that direction, but it's not needed anymore.
Yep, you can see it way in the distance. And that's going to land a little offside, but basically landing right on Alpha.
Yeah, so, I mean, I don't want to say it's a wasted call because you never know if you're
You
going to
never know,
but they're not going to get any use out of it. You got to do what you got to do. You can't anticipate, you can't assume you're going to cap something, especially on this map.
Exactly.
So B, the defense is setting up a lot of defenders on B, and some playing to the defensive left in the ruin. No one's pushing into the alt B, which is the security point, the double-story house near the road on the left. Got one guy in ruin who is kind of looking over there. Oh, we do have a player that is Renegade is flashing out to the hotel, which is across the street from alt B. So I'm assuming he's going to try to take up a position on that flank. We got one player coming up the road. So one tactic that happens a lot, and you can see Sankey. Simon's really pushed up is to come through the river. The river skirts the red zone. It kind of comes in and out of it, and you can weave in along the river and come in for a strong position to cut off respawn. And you can see that 3 offensive players are coming from that far defensive right, and I'm pretty sure one of them got picked off, the lead player, so there's 2 more edging out there. And I think their point is they're trying to, they may already be in a position where they have some view to see where they're sitting here.
Looks like smoke orders were called by Insurgents. I'm guessing on that B push. Didn't see the...
Here we got...
Well, maybe, but let's see what happens here.
So, Sankey and Pyrus are far out on the left, but in a 10-player game, you really don't want 2 players just camping that far off. And one of them would be enough, but maybe they're going to wait and try to push up and get a better position behind the spawn.
Yeah, might be playing for time.
But that's the problem a lot when people have too many people playing that way. You need people to do the dirty work.
Indeed. It sounds like we
already
have
landing on
right on B, but not actually hitting anybody.
No, it's already on the structure like that. It's not going to do a lot of good. Better use would be to try to call behind the point. You're close. Try to cut them off. But again, you got to get close enough. You got to get some leverage so you can get closer to the point. Yeah, the offense is kind of spread out pretty dispersed. Got two coming in from the far left around the security point.
Mm-hmm.
But they have. It's going to be interesting. You got Renegade and Salty in the far defensive left of the map, doing a little hokey pokey hunting and peeking for each other, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Curious to see who wins that one. But
Ooh.
you got two guys coming through Alt B. Oh, and
Renegade takes that one.
Renegade found him.
Indeed.
I'm sure they were. Yeah, they knew they were both looking for each other. So another, again, they may push. They've got two offensive players on that far left, and one position is to try to come up through the gas station area and cut off B from the right. Again, you want to try to cut off the ability to come and reinforce from behind, because that's the reinforcement point.
Okay.
Like you don't want to cut the head off the snake.
Right. You want to jump the gun early.
So they're edging up there. The one thing is they've gone really slow. So this far into the game, they have 5 waves, like we were talking about before when we were off mic. Maybe we were on mic. This map can become a game that does not necessarily won or lost on point captures, but by time or by beating out waves. And the pace of this is looking towards that a little bit. A lot of smoke in front of point on the defensive left. So you still have Sankey far out trying to pick off people as they come to point. I feel like if they're going to cap this at some point, he's going to have to come closer.
Ooh, Memphis though, or Memphi though. Nice RPG there. Gets Ruben and Fritz at the same time.
Ooh, that was a good one.
Right in there and takes him out.
They're still battling for control over on the left side of the map to get. You got one guy in the bluff and one guy below him. I have a feeling they're aware of each other to some degree. And so who do we got over there? We got November and right below him. This Observer Stiff. Yes. Oh.
Stiff's making a move.
Yeah. If he doesn't know he's there, he's going to run out in front of him right now and get shot. Stiff's just got to look down, and he's got him right in front of him. Nope, he must be looking too high.
Looks like Cheesy's also getting a couple kills of his own, but looks like they lost that back coverage. Someone says he's going to eventually get taken out.
Someone got him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was, a little
there
too
you
wide
go.
out.
November, well, Memphi, he noob tubes Saber, but also takes himself out on that one. So, it was worth it probably, but still, that's
they're that close. Get him off.
Yeah, not a whole lot you can do there.
What do they got going here? They're pushing in the middle, pretty slow. They're gonna need the reinforcement to get anywhere at this point. So they got a mass of players way back in the back of the map here. We got Rick and who's he with running around back here? They're very slowly. One player here again pushing out to Alt B.
Good smoke line though from Insurgents.
Yeah, definitely. Now they are masked more in the center. Hitting it with a lot of smoke. Kim's on the point again. I think they've decided they're going to try to push through that middle. You can see the smoke there. They're coming all down the main road. They've decided that the defense is probably too spread out, and then if they can push through a spearhead through the middle of the line and puncture it, that's their best chance right now. That happens a lot. Again, on a giant sprawling map, if the defense gets too spread out, it actually becomes easier to just punch through the middle. So now they only have 2 defenders. If they can clear the point, they're going to be in really good shape.
Indeed,
they've got 2 defenders they've got to deal with.
But they have 3 more coming in on support that are already in position in the back, so that's...
Yep, they're moving up. They're moving up to reinforce.
It's going to be... They got to push. They got to push now. They're taking a little too long. I think they're going to be a little too late there.
Yep.
Oh, Ruben, though. Nice flick onto Big Soap.
Now, he's up close.
Ooh, but Tribal Timmy will take him out. Yeah. A little too aggressive there. Looks like Security will continue to hold Alpha. Insurgents. Only one wave left, too.
When you're that close up, you got to evaluate. I'm by myself. I'm this close. Am I really going to go on and get killed and alert them to my presence for something that's really unlikely to happen? So we got Bacon moving up on the right. He's real close to point. And I think he's going to probably hold there and try to get another kill or 2 while he waits for his teammates. Yeah. So someone just blasted in from the left on offense, or the defensive right. They're there. They got 4 guys there. Here we go. Here's gonna get some
Here's
good
the
action
push.
here. We got 2 or 3.
Oh, looks like they're taking him out.
They've cleared it.
Tribal Timmy's still alive.
Maybe there's one. There's one in there.
Tribal's the last man standing, I believe, on B. No, he
And
actually died. Yeah, no, they got it.
They got one defender coming out. If this guy's smart, I would just lay out on that back porch.
Yeah.
Yep. They got him. They got him.
Nope, they got the B cap just like that. Marshall Simon says, extremely stiff. Canadian Bacon and Saber will cap B again, leading to one last objective. I believe D is not played within this map, right? Or is D played as well?
C and D is the cache. There's just
Okay.
3 main points in the cache. Which is weird because on the security side you have 4 in the cache, but
Interesting.
the design here, and it makes the map more spread out. It makes the gameplay slower because the distance, from 3 to 4 points is a little longer. Spreads the map out, slows the pace down. As you can see, the waves 6 to 9, and but they only have 5 minutes, right? Because they've been taking so long. But that's how this map plays out. Just a slow-paced map, as you saw. And what got them over the top was they finally changed their tactics to, they just decided that they were getting picked off too much on the flanks, I would guess. And they said, let's just try to pierce it up the middle, and they did. Took them a couple of pushes, but they got it.
Happened to also catch the security player. Not to interrupt, Tribal Timmy. He got stuck behind enemy lines. He got back capped and now has to try and sneak past. And is snuck behind Ruben. And I believe the other player.
Oh,
another player. Yeah, he got stuck behind enemy lines. He had to kind of run away from what's his name? It was Simon says firing at him. So he had to.
Yeah.
He had to
He's gonna take his time.
Ninja guiding his way over here.
So the same thing here, right? So again, this point is difficult, and if the defense is too spread out, and you get close to it, it becomes, once you get on it, it can be easy to take, but it's really hard to get there because the defense tends to spread out so wide. But again, so you've got to come. The river approach to the left of the point is really tough because again, so open, and a lot of people will look very explicitly there. So if you come through the cave, which is the security A point, and use a lot of smoke, there's a lot of good cover through there. But you got to come almost right through the middle. But you can, if they sense the defenders are all flanked out wide, that's what they'll do in the end. They'll push through the middle like they did on B. So right now they're going slow, but at some point time is going to work against them. They got 3 minutes. They're going to have to pick the pace up.
Indeed. Although we see Tribal Timmy is currently still stuck, pinned behind extremely stiff, who is waiting for someone to push him, but Timmy cannot.
He just needs to go
He's
let
gotta,
himself die because he's going to spend the whole map sitting there.
He
well,
may well.
At some point it's going to move.
Oh yeah, as soon as he starts to move, we'll see what happens. Ruben is nearby. I don't know if Ruben heard him coming up, but he's going to come in for support, so Timmy has to be a little bit careful on that return. But eventually, I think we might see something happen. Meanwhile, it looks like security is held pretty strong across most of the map in the meantime. Though Simon says, is pushing danger close to spawn. He could catch a couple people out, but we'll have to wait and see what happens.
But again, they need to concentrate. They need to concentrate more in the middle. I mean, picking off the one guy who's going wide left defender is almost useless when there's 2 minutes left. They gotta be way more quick and aggressive than they've been, or they're gonna run out of time. They got 2 minutes and they're nowhere near the point, and they're still kind of using their slower tactics.
And it looks like they've actually pushed up a little bit. So Timmy now able to move around. Is he spotted? I think he's been spotted by an enemy. Oh, Ruben spotted him. It's too late for Timmy. And he is taken out by Ruben. Nice attempt there by Tribal Timmy. Last man standing. Chris, I have to pay respects.
And they've moved 3 defenders on the point. So if they're talking in defense, they've realized that the time is running out. And if they're smart, they're going to tighten up their defense and move off the flanks a little bit so that you can fight them off. Because their only chance now is to just ram jam, try to push on the point.
Yeah, they're definitely running out of time.
I feel like they're going to run out of time.
Yeah.
They're moving too slow.
Yeah. I'd have to agree. They're at this point they need to go all out, and they're just not pushing at all.
They're creeping up. They're just moving too slow.
Yeah,
but,
I think it's been.
I mean, they capped A and B, which honestly on this map that's a pretty good accomplishment. If it ends here for them, I think that's still going to be a lot for the other team to overcome.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I think it's going to be a interesting end of the round here if it's going to play out. But Rick Marshall goes for the push.
Going through the river. He ran out of the smoke and died. They had a pretty good smoke line there for a minute, but it dissipated. So now they're down to a minute. I don't see
it happening. Yeah, I gotta agree. It's I think we're pretty much at the end of the round here. Insurgents, they've played it well, but they've just played too passive. They've let too much time slip on their hands. They had the wave count, but again, they gotta have the time. As much as we like to play forever, you can't take all day. You have to eventually get the objective capture up there, and we see security now taking the last couple players.
I get it, but at the same time, the nature of this map kind of forces that. But yes,
Yeah.
at some point, once they got beat, they should have really changed tactics up to realize that the time is going to really kill them.
Yeah.
But it's tough though. It's easy for me to say that, but knowing this map, you could rush and then be mowed down repeatedly because it's just so
Open too, so you never really know.
So maybe they could have, again, they could have gone to 2 commanders to call 2 strikes at once, try to leverage some stuff. But it's easy to say when I'm on the side of the map.
Yeah,
Of
definitely.
the screen.
Oh yeah, there's that too. Looks like that's going to be the end of the round. Insurgents already calling it. And indeed, security will take the first round on map 3. So that will be Ruben, I believe. Yes, Ruben will take the first round on this 1-0. It's a good play out of time there by security, letting Insurgents push in too fast. Ultimately, they had the... I think they could have possibly won it if they pushed a little faster, but ultimately just not enough to get it in there.
Well, what matters is they got A and B. So that's the deciding thing, right?
Yeah.
Now that Fitzy's team's going to offense. Excuse me, Renegade's team's going to offense now. So again, it's going to come down to do they get those 2 points.
Mm-hmm.
So Ruben's team can there's probably on this map there's less pressure. There's more pressure on the offense because those points are hard to take. So Ruben's team can feel like they have less pressure on them. And so, but we'll see what happens if they get A and B. Then they could have an exciting showdown for C. But we'll see. Taking A and B is going to be a chore.
Indeed, I want to give it to Ruben to win it, but still, Renegade have a chance. They had a really good momentum, but it's going to be a tough one for Ruben to take out and get that win in there. But if they can get the good artillery, then I think they might get it.
I think you mean Renegade.
Yes, Renegade. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah.
They're very similar. So.
Yeah. Well, if I look at the first 2 maps, the way they played, I mean, Ruben's team general had more effective offense. They won the first map handily. The second map they lost, but Renegade's team just got the A point. So they're going to really have to, I don't know, say change their tactics or approach. I think to have a bit, to win this for them because they're going to have to get this team. We will see what happens here.
Indeed, we'll have to see what happens and if they can make it to A or not. It looks like they're just waiting on some AFK people or getting their map sides fixed out. So in the meantime, we'll be back in just a few. As soon as they're ready to go, we will bring it right back. So we'll be right back.
So what do we got here?
Looks like November running in fast. And we're back. Looks like they had to get their teams situated and spread out. Let's go ahead and hop back in here. They're now live for the last possible round of this matchup here between Ruben and Renegade to pick up game style rosters. So looks like November running in fast on the bit of a truck run to the outside, but he's going to go for the long flank around A. Interesting strategy call from him.
So what do we got here? The offense is now, in contrast to what Ruben's team did, where they came on more on the far right, they are massing, holding. Looks like they're going to try to get a call in or something. And they're coming more on the defensive left, but that's where more of the defenders are looking. You've got November going very slowly behind them. In pub play, November likes to back cap, so he's either going, knowing that they need to win quickly, anticipating if they get lucky on A, and he'll be in position at B. or he's going to try to come through the red zone. It looks like this angle he's going to try to back cap.
Yep.
Be my guess.
That's
and he'll come to A if they lose a couple waves. That'll force him to come help. But he is setting up for that. That is classic November.
Indeed.
Okay,
Although it looks
so
like Insurgents as well have pushed up pretty aggressively on the left side there in the valley, but ultimately security caught them out trying to push out and around. So good smokes from Insurgents, but just not enough to get the cap in there and get the kill.
Defense is they're very heavily weighted on that middle and left, and they got a couple guys across the road on the right of the point, watching that approach. But I think if they're going to need to push through the Athens side of the map and smoke it off and come in from that northern side. I can hear them calling defensive artillery. Curious to see where they'll call that. Probably in the two palm trees just past the tunnel, that area. I mean, the defensive artillery is so much weaker compared to Insurgents. Just 6. It's a very momentary kind of help.
Looks like chemical mortars were also called on by Insurgents there on A. So we'll see how that affects them. Looks like most of them are at least tucked in, or whether it could be fine, or have gas masks on. It seems to be a pretty reoccurring thing.
And I do see Big Soap. Looks like he's trying to go through the red zone, but looks like he's going to cut more of an angle to come up through the red zone.
Oh, okay.
Whereas November is waiting at B for the back cap.
Yep.
That Artie's midfield, a little close, pretty close to where I thought you might call it. But again, it's going to be over in like 5 seconds. It's not a real effective call.
Yeah, I think he's going to be more targeted. Although this artillery or the chemical smoke is interesting for its placement. It could be effective if they all weren't wearing masks, which unfortunately looks like security already prepared, already had their masks out, so not going to be all that effective.
So we're down to 3 waves. We got no. Oh, it looks like I took my eye off. It looks like our back capper got killed.
Oh, indeed. November.
Not our back capper.
The flanker.
November, but yeah, the flanker, the back flanker.
Yeah, November is just waiting for that B cap up.
He's hoping.
He's waiting and ready.
Oh,
see what happens.
Skillet almost got in the back, but was picked off by Simon, who's just waiting at garbage, the little garbage area of the map, whatever that is, trash room. That's funny. I heard some of the in-game chat right there. Salty's talking about how he's paranoid on defense about the flanking.
Understandable.
So they do have a couple people coming through the tunnel area. One guy coming to the front. But again, they need to clear that guy out of the trash. Yep. And again, Simon just sitting in that corner. No one's calling out that he's there. That's 3 people he's picked off from that spot, or that have died coming there. They do know he's there, but he's just sitting there waiting for him. And here comes another victim for him. Is he? Oh, he's gonna go through the trash.
He's going
bin.
the other side,
He's
and he'll get picked
on
up
that
anyways.
wall.
Oh, he gets the kill
He's
to
in there.
Marshall. Wow.
If he's in there. Let's see. Can he?
Oh.
Oh, with a pistol kill.
Stiff pistol weapon him.
That's insulting.
Understandable though. It's a pretty good weapon, but yeah, definitely.
Artie landing somewhere. What is that? Smoke Artie?
Looks like regular Artie on the back.
Yeah. Oh, they. Oh, that's funny. They've called their Artie on Saw Hill.
Interesting.
They must have felt there's no one up there now. But honestly, if you want to dislodge him, you would be better off using a drone. Artie's better used, and a drone's more precise.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's up with the Insurgents. Not really using a lot of artillery. I haven't seen a lot of IED drones
really,
either. Interesting.
They've got it. They have the pressure on the point. They've got it 80%, 90% capped.
And there's the cap.
Get it?
Just
They
like
got
that.
it. So they took A. So first step accomplished. Now can they get B?
That is the
Nice
question.
push by them to get that.
Looks like Insurgents, and security for that matter, already rotating back, but Insurgents already going for the push-up. November doesn't actually go for the B cap instead, opts to play it safe in the back. Looks to catch some people out rotating, but with the shotgun, not impossible, but definitely tough odds unless you got the slugs. And even then, still, the range is going to be a challenge. Looks like getting pre-fired already. They don't even know where he is. Oh, here comes IED, and he's IE done before he even starts. Extremely stiff, taking him out with that pistol once again. And here comes Simon Says, looking to catch out that rotators. Is he going to find anybody? Looks like the answer is no. Big Soap still covering the edges, waiting for the push. He's not going to find anybody, as it looks like Ruben is looking to catch out some Insurgents rotating from their new spawn.
So we have, on defense, we do have 2 defenders on all B. Security cap point of B. And that's a good point, good point to hold, because a lot of times the attackers will try to come through there, and also you got some nice views out there across the battlefield. with the height of the point. Let's just call. Oh, okay, so already defensive already called kind of near the spawn. Not going to be too effective. So again, if you look at the defense, they do have a concentration of 2 players on point, which is good. They're widely dispersed. So like we were talking, if the offense can recognize that and get a lot of smoke in that intersection up the hill and punch through with 5 players or so, they're going to have a good chance to get it. Because again, look at how dispersed the defense is. There's no way that these players, Sankey, Pyrus, 2 guys on Alt B, can come to B if they start to lose it time. If they get overloaded. They're not going to.
I think so,
again,
yeah.
Their best bet is, and see, there's the smoke right on the point. They just got to smoke this intersection, and they should really cram it right through the middle there.
Oh, but Simon could get some kills here. Sankey Pank will get 1. He'll actually get the other kill, stealing Simon's kill, unfortunately. But he'll get another one if he can see him in time.
That's why you need to smoke that side of the road off.
Yeah.
You can't just, they got the smoke in front of them, which is great. This angle is too exposed. You just
Auto cannon.
Way the hell up there.
Strikes the road, but doesn't take anyone out.
That's not I mean, it didn't get anyone, but it shows you the defense is thinking that they're going to come through there, so they anticipate it. You know, they're calling a defense through there. Getting a little more smokes out. They're down to 4 waves. Just got enough waves. They're doing a better job of smoking off Sankey's angle. Again, just 2 people on point. There's another defender in the bus area, so they do have a 3rd guy close to help on defense and rotate.
Ooh,
pick off some offensive players.
Yeah, unfortunately, it looks like it got taken out pretty quickly on that backside of Alt B. Oh, Tribal is close. He could get in there, but I think he's just waiting for that support. Tribal to me now pushing in fast into B, and he'll get taken out as soon as he starts. Extremisif taking out Fitzy as well on the flank. There is 1 player, though, on. Major Connor does manage to sneak into Bravo. It's hard at the cap. Major Connor is waiting for the push. He sees a player. Oh, but Simon says we'll take him out before that happens. Clearing up Bravo for security. You can see Insurgents setting up their defenses, trying to get out there and around. Looks like security is, meanwhile, flanked in and kind of guarded Bravo once again. So they kind of moved in a little too late for Insurgents to use that middle road position there. But we'll see how it plays.
Smoking the intersection a little bit. Now their offense is way spread out. They're too spread out. They're not gonna.
Yeah, it's a little bit too
one
wide.
One guy here, one guy there. You need at this. You're gonna.
Yeah,
I think they probably got deflated from a couple of those times pushing, but I really think they're on the right tack, trying to smoke and push through the middle because again, the defense is so. They're not as flanked out now, but they were before. They're still kind of that way. Oh, they did pick off Sankey on the far right.
Ooh, good double spray there by Simon Says, taking out both those players. There's still 1 there, but it looks like he didn't spot him just yet. Assuming Steph is still waiting for the push. At this point,
now,
the cat's out of the bag.
They are coming a little bit more from the left of the point, left center.
Okay.
Memphi! In-game chatter. Fitzy telling him to push from the right, so they're going to make an effort from the defensive left, the offensive right. Now see, here we go. This is Cheesy Tater getting into one of my favorite spots. Behind point on the right to try to cut off that reinforcement angle from behind. Does have a sniper on the hills. A couple enemies on the hills above him, but they really can't get to him.
I think he's going for spawns, trying to take him out if they push in through B. Well, luckily security stayed mostly alive too.
Cheesy's in a good spot if they had some pressure on the point. Because then they're going to come from behind and you can get some kills back there. He's breaking for the point though.
Yep, last wave up. Oh, Rick Marshall will take out Cheesy Tater on B.
Yeah.
This is last wave. This is pretty much GG, but still there's a chance Insurgents could take this, but it's going to be a tall order. They're going to need a lot of artillery, a lot of smoke, a lot of everything.
They got 2 guys close, and this is the tough part. It's kind of looking like a big red apple to pick when you're this desperate. But these guys should hold, and then a couple guys get closer. You go on one by one, you get picked off.
Yep.
That's kind of what happened to Cheesy, and he was in a good spot too. They're watching that spot now as Skillet or Fitzy just got picked off on the right. They're down to 4 players.
Here comes the flank.
The defense is gonna tighten up.
Yep. I think maybe too little, too late, but still.
It's 3v2 on point now. This other, and they've got November watching the right flank, so he's gonna probably hold. Or is he down? Nope.
He's still up.
What is he doing over there? Yeah, so he's gonna either come to point or hold that back angle.
Pius is coming in for support as well on that side.
Got someone off point. They got 3
Oh!
versus 1 or 2 on point.
Here we go. Renegade gets the kill onto
They've got to get that last player.
Indeed.
The reinforcements are coming. They've got to get this last player. It's happening too
Oh,
slow.
Pius will get the kill onto Loki November. One more to go. Behind his skills. And just like that, Pius will be the winner. The last guy to take out Renegade's team. And with that, Ruben wins this matchup. GG's well played. Ruben takes it 2-0 in the series.
And they win the cup two maps to 1.
Indeed. Nicely done there by both teams. Ultimately, it was Ruben who came out on top. So that matchup, really good clutch there, really good attempt at the last second by Insurgents there.
Yeah.
You couldn't do much more.
They pieced it together. They a lot of, they could have, it's easy to say again, but there weren't a lot of strong calls that helped them. The guy Pyrus at the end, he, again, right, the little things, if they'd have picked him off when they had those last 2 players, they might have had a chance of getting it if they could have found him. Because they had the ground they had to cover. They might have got it, pulled it off, but there's a good defense at the end by Ruben's squad.
Indeed. Nicely played there by both teams. Ultimately, Ruben coming out on top. And we'll end the series and end up this stream. So that will be it for today's games, and I believe for the weekend as well. I don't think there's any of the matches being played for this kind of show. Demonstration of sorts of competitive push. Still interesting set of games. Really interesting plays and stuff. And of course, got to thank Shane, bringing in all the knowledge from the competitive push side that I definitely have never seen before. Got to give props. And of course,
thank you.
Fantastic job. I have been your co-caster alongside Shane as well, Stuff Shark. So thanks everybody for watching. And we'll see you guys on the next one as soon as we have more games to be played. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you around.
Skidolphin, Bassroot, Skater Yellow. Down home in my village, yeah, they call me the Gobala. I'ma smack your cash if you disrespect Allah. Flash under the dash, and you know it's Filato. Spawn trap your whole team, cause that's how we roll. Yalla, 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 yalla. Who said you could play this game? You need to uninstall right now. Yalla, y'all just got banana. Ha, what are you afraid? Yes, you afraid. We're coming for you. Yalla, 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 yalla. I'm seriously about
Yalla.
Alright, so it turns out that's not the end. We got a little bit more bonus content for you guys. I have in here with me Ruben, who played in the match there, and alongside Saber, who solo capped Alpha there in the second, or the first round of that last objective. You guys there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's it going? So, end of the match. Ruben, take us through that last round there.
Through crossing insurgents? Okay, so the man Saber here, I like to thank him for personally being the man on the point, because without Saber, I don't think we would have gotten a. He was the only one on there, and I was like, man, we're not gonna get this because there was only one person left, and everyone had just spawned their final wave.
Why
And it ended
did, did I have to clutch 2 points twice? Like, why?
Good. We like that humility there, Saber. I got a question for you, Saber. When you're in that situation, when you're on the A point like you were, and you know it's, I think it was 0 waves, you just know that that's more or less the last hope. How do you play that? What do you think in your mind, or what if your many hours of playing the game? How do you react, and what strategies do you use to make sure you cap that point?
On what point?
On A, when you're in that situation, you're on the point, maybe 1-on-1 or 2-on-1 or 1-on-0, and you know you need to hold it. You know that the defense is coming and rushing the point to get there. How do you play it, or what goes through your mind to help try to make sure you win that point?
So personally, I
yelled at me a lot.
that I already know that there will be no securities on the second floor. So I try to slowly make my way downstairs. But coincidentally, there's a security who was downstairs. He went up, and then I capped him right there, and so that, and I did not really expect the point to be like clear by the time I got him.
Yeah.
pretty lucky. Not
I
Well,
I want to I want to
yeah.
know what Renegade thinks about that hideout push, the very first one that we did, because we waited like a whole minute and a half, and I felt like you guys were gonna do the same thing after we didn't see you guys for most of that first attack from you.
We kind of had a plan, and for some reason, one of my guys decided to drive the truck up on the left side, and Connor ran in front of the truck, and he died, and he was our only commander at that point in time. So we
Oh,
kind of winged it after that, and that's why everything just kind of fell apart on that hideout push for A. So it was a fun time.
well, you guys did on Renegade. You guys on the second map, you guys did take that because you got the you got farther. You got the cap they couldn't get. What when you were playing Farmhouse Security? What was your strategy on the A point to get it there?
Main strategy was just to get the smokes in on that. We knew people were going to be sniping up on the far right, most likely Umbrella on the balcony there, if not on red and stuff in that manner. So we kind of just figured if we got the smokes in, and then we could kind of push in either middle or push in on the far left, or which would be your guys' right. We'd be able to get into the point, which we were able to get in the point. And then I was kind of surprised that it was clear by the time we got there. So I'm assuming more people were far out, trying to snipe or pick people off, than that were actually on the point.
so I'd like to open up the callouts text channel to you. I think Team Renegade should now be able to see underneath Team Ruben. There's a callouts text channel. This is what I had prepped for the team for Farmhouse Security. So you know how you're like saying far left side or whatever on Farmhouse. We already had a name for that place. We called it Side House, and I started renaming a lot of different things. And so I was like, hopefully they're not doing the same thing, because I wanted to keep the comms consistent on our team, and it ended up actually working out pretty nicely, especially for hideout.
So what's going on here?
Yeah,
Hey.
you guys did a great job pushing on hideout. We held you off. It seemed like at 0 waves for all
Yes,
four.
every time you capped at 0 waves, it was so annoying.
You're welcome.
Well, Shark, so any other people you'd like to interview here? They all seem to be flooding.
Oh yeah, maybe I should try
Well,
not to do that.
yeah, it's
I
it's
do want
it's
to
a little
say
hectic.
one thing though. That hideout was as a spectator watching and commentating. That was so fun to watch it because every single point did get to 0. I think maybe D might have been 1, but even D I think ultimately capped with 0. I mean, and then when you get to the cache, I thought, well, one wave to get the cache, and everyone knows the tactics. I'm like, okay, they're gonna demo it. They're gonna use all the calls, so they're gonna have to demo it or grenade it or whatever. And this watching the players whittle each other down as they encroach on the map, it was really well played. I mean, the defense gets some credit because they forced you guys to 0 every time. It's not like they got steamrolled like that, and you guys won with 10 waves. I mean, it was like literally down to 3 or 4 players.
Indeed, it's nicely done.
I was getting my shit pushed in on was it Crossing and Farmhouse? Me too, buddy. Something like that.
Yeah, man.
But I went top the other 2, so it's okay.
There you go. There you go.
It's not about kills. It's about the team effort. But I will
It's
say that
about
I did have
sending
the
a
most.
message.
I will say I did have the most kills in every single game we played.
Yeah, he was coming in clutch.
Well, we know that Sankey, that you play for the friendships that you make along the way, not the kills. So
Those are the real
Yeah.
kills.
Maybe the real kills is the friends we made along the way.
well, I want to say on the last map, Hideout, it did seem that, Crossing, that, and even on some of the other maps, it seemed at some point both teams had realizations at certain points that like the defenders were too spread out or too many were dead, and then you would kind of mass and try to pierce through the middle or from the side.
Yeah.
I mean, was that a lot of conscious organization and talking mid game?
Yes,
where
that was
you guys
that
would be
was
like,
that
they're
was
down,
us
they're too
saying-
spread out.
that was us saying, or somebody would point out, they are spread out too thin. They are massing in this area. We're getting locked down on this side. Let's go the other way, right? It's.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds simple, but sometimes it's hard to do that while actually playing, to sort of have that realization and then get everyone to go along with it. But of course, it's easier because we're all on Discord, we all know each other, and we all know how, to listen to each other.
It's definitely like that football mentality where, you got to switch between zone defense or man-to-man, or, if you can't get a passing game going, then you try and blitz if they have a weak, defensive line or whatever, if you want to use a football metaphor. And on that last point, we did have the flanks covered pretty wide, but then the attackers responded to that by smoking up the middle. And then we almost really lost it because we only had 2 people
at the end.
And we
Oh yeah, you mean beyond
play.
crossing? Yeah, I got on there and it was solo stalemate
That
for the longest
very
time, but
last
there was
point,
no
yeah.
help.
Again, Pirates, that was pretty big brain.
Who was the guy who swung back and ended up killing me on B?
What are you talking about?
The last one, the last point.
Crossing
jumping down.
Well, let me say something about that. So one thing that was really interesting, I mean, it was really fascinating watching everything, live in real time and seeing like the shifts of the strategy. I mean, there would be times where we'd see a team, coming this way, but then the next wave they would come from the other direction. And as you were saying, Sankey, on that B point at the very end, there was a point I really thought there was a really good chance for Renegade teams to get it, because looking at the map, and Shark and I were talking about, your team was like, you were way the fuck out on way the heck out on the right, on your right, and you guys had guys in all B. There was 1 or 2 people on point, and we did see Renegade's team pierce through there. But and again, like these things, it's funny, they can come down to one thing, and I'm not saying this would have given them that point, but it very well could have. Is if they'd have smoked you out on that road, you picked off like 2 or 3 of the guys, and if they'd have smoked you out, they would have had 2 or 3 more defenders, and there was a good chance they would have got B there. But that was, again, they were reacting to how spread out you guys were, and they probably perceived that you were down some players, because I think you only had 5 people up, and that was a really close. It might not have felt like it in game, like how close you guys were, Renegade, but just watching it, you guys were super close there.
Yeah, they definitely they had a good position at the end. The thing is, so when they were capping the point, we had 2 people left, but at that point, even though we had all died on the flanks, we had killed or sniped or picked off enough people that we know there's not that many that made it alive, and they're on their 0 wave. And at that point, you're just praying or hoping that the few attackers that do make it on point, they have to check 6 rooms with 4 corners, sometimes more than 4 corners each. And then each corner could potentially have a guy who's then going to be prone and watching that doorway. So you have faith in the people on point, and you're praying that the people that made it to the point who are attacking don't have grenades, don't have grenade launcher, because it's not common for everyone to carry 3 frags or.
Well, I'll tell you again, right? It's the little thing. So that guy Pyrus, we were watching that, and you guys, Renegade's team came onto the point with 2 or 3 players, and it was 2 on 1. And that shows you just the little things. If they'd have picked him off right away, I don't think you guys would have had time to recover. But I think I know he got the final player, but his being able to get those last 2 players, that was it. But if they'd have picked him off, and again, it can sometimes come down to luck or looking in the right corner, then I think they would have got B at that point. And that obviously sealed it when you killed the last player. But it's just, to me, I love how this little tiny one little thing, and that's it. That can be the whole, just completely put the game on a different tangent.
I like to stop. I like to stop right here. We're going to. I think this is it for the stream. I mean, we can keep talking after this, but Shark needs to wrap it up. So let him do his little outro.
Shark has a life.
Maybe yella.
He's not a push incel like us. He has a life he needs to go to.
That's right.
Well, And anyways, thanks you guys for watching on the stream, and we'll see you guys in the future. So, catch you around.
Thank you.
Skidolphin, Bastard, Skater, YOLO. Down home in my village, yeah, they call me the Gobala. I'ma smack your cash if you disrespect Allah. Clash under the dash, and you know it's Filato. Spawn trap. trap your whole team, cause that's how we roll. Yalla, 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 yalla.